Paul Ryan says that part of the repeal of Obamacare will include stripping Planned Parenthood of federal funding. Do people still not have their facts straight about who's going to actually be affected by Planned Parenthood's removal?
Well, no tax dollars ever go to abortion in Planned Parenthood.
There is no line item in the federal budget that goes to Planned Parenthood. None. Federal dollars, most federal dollars go through Planned Parenthood via Medicaid. 75% of Planned Parenthood's public funding.
Yeah.
You know,
but their issue is that they do have abortion services, even though no tax dollars are paid.
No tax dollars. Can we just say that again? Because the myth of federal taxes paying for abortions has been discredited. We've said it a million times. All those videos you keep seeing have been discredited. Let's be realistic. The only people who are going to eat it when Planned Parenthood goes away are women who need the services.
Yeah.
And that is an issue because, again, they said we're going to get rid of it, but they don't talk about what they're going to replace it with. And you're going to have to replace it with something.
I think oftentimes Planned Parenthood is seen as synonymous with abortion. And what people don't realize is that the majority, 75% of their budget goes to Medicaid reimbursements.
Yes.
And you have to qualify for Medicaid. So the people that are really going to be affected are the ones that need these services more than ever. And as we're dealing with repealing and replacing, we're once again hanging out to dry the poorest among us.
Yes.
So
and women, always. Women are always eating it.
But nearly 80% of the patients are well under the poverty level. And these clinics popped up because there weren't clinics in these rural, unserviced areas. So again, people are focusing so much on abortion, but if you're taking a religious stance on this, you have to weigh the lesser of evils. Is that small percentage bigger than leaving people out that don't have help, that don't have money or services to help them?
The problem is that you're not talking about whether Planned Parenthood should have a right to exist. You're talking about whether Planned Parenthood has a right to taxpayer money. And just because that money doesn't directly go into abortion, you're talking about an organization that gets 1/3 of its clinic income from abortion. In 2011, Planned Parenthood...
say that again.
2011, Planned Parenthood provided 334,000 abortions. They did 28,674 women received prenatal services. 2,300 women were referred to adoption agencies. 1/3 of its clinic income comes from abortions.
But it's
and
not
when they
federal,
calculate,
it's not federal.
Private income.
Right,
it's private income.
But you're donating to an organization.
Oh, God,
these
don't
people
make
who are
this.
religious are donating to an organization that they feel condones and supports something that they don't. It's their money. So they're saying, look, you want to have an abortion? That's your right. It's your body.
Apparently
it's your right.
not, because if it was my right, you wouldn't give a crap whether I was having an abortion.
They don't care.
No, wait.
They don't care.
They do care. Because this is the issue. For me, this is the issue. Whether you subscribe to people having abortions or not should have nothing to do with what I do or what I need. If I'm a low-income person and I've been raped, you don't have the right to tell me if I should have an abortion.
They're not trying.
Yes, they are.
They're
because
not.
if you are saying federal money, look, I don't want to pay for this new wall that suddenly we are now paying for, that Mexico was supposed to be paying for.
That's different, though.
No, it's not different.
That's different
darling, it's not different. It is not different.
I'll tell you.
Listen, my religious background says, okay, that I'm supposed to make sure that people are serviced. That's what my religion says. I'm not there to judge. God judges. If God has an issue, you have an issue with God. You're not you.
Yeah,
but these people who have these problems are not their problems, they are my problem. And God says, if I have an issue, I talk to God, I don't have to talk to you. And so not you, but one interfering with this when Planned Parenthood does so many other things for the poor, and none of these people ever talk about what they're going to replace stuff with. That's my bitch about all of it.
But the difference, I think, when you talk about wars is the Constitution says that the job of the federal government is to protect its citizens by nature of defense. That's the job. The job of the Constitution.
Wall is not a war. Is there a war now? Did I miss something?
The border security? To protect the country via border security?
When Donald Trump was elected, he said Mexico's going to play for that wall.
He's talking about border security, though, really. Which falls into defense.
He said Mexico would be paying for that wall. Now he's saying that as a taxpayer, I'm going to be paying for that wall.
Different.
That's
hypocrisy on his part.
For me, it's like, wait a minute. If you're going to do this, then we're going to have to do an exchange. I'm paying for stuff I don't want to pay for. I don't pay for a freaking wall. I don't want to pay for a wall.
You know, the thing about it is Donald Trump doesn't pay taxes, period. So he's not going to pay for the wall or that.
No. Let me correct one thing. I said 75% of Planned Parenthood's budget. It's 75% of federal funding is the Medicaid reimbursements. But I think we're again losing the point of this, that it's less about abortions. It's about preventative care, cancer screening. People that we talked about the other day, the wait on emergency rooms, how people would race there because they didn't have availability. These are clinics that are taking that weight off. So if you're thinking at all in numbers,
they're not.
People have concerns, though, also about Planned Parenthood as an organization. I know you talked about the videos that some feel have been debunked. There have been a lot of videos.
Listen,
but a lot haven't. The House Select.
I'm sorry,
it's
baby.
not true,
I can't sit and do this anymore. I can't do it. I can't do it.
Statistic here?
Yeah, please.
Because about Mike Pence, who is our vice president-elect.
Pray to get away.
Okay, well, he was the governor of Indiana, and under his auspices, the HIV outbreak has gone up in the last couple of years because he shut down Planned Parenthood clinics in Indiana. So who suffers from that, really? Poor people in Indiana.
It's just like
wait a second, and then it overwhelms the medical facilities, and then we have to pay for it anyway.
We have seen video.
So what is he gaining?
Look, I'm sorry, but we have video of this organization. Just recently, the House Select Panel on Human Lives, we have video of this organization, Planned Parenthood.
My God.
They haven't, though. They're haggling over fetal tissue. They potentially have
conversation. It's just, you know, you say it's not debunked. You believe it. Okay.
All I'm saying is that there is a segment of the population that is committed to, they are religious people, and they are saying, look, I don't care what you do, it's your body, but I don't want to contribute to an organization that condones that. This cannot be compared to defense. It can.
If my religious beliefs say, I don't want to pay for your war, but I do it because my thing with America is everybody has to pay their fair share for stuff they don't like and stuff they do like. And my point is, you may not like abortion, don't have one. You never have to have one, but you have to understand there are people who don't have the money, who can't go get a DNC, like all the people who say, oh no, I would never have this, and then they go get a DNC because it's not called an abortion. Let's be realistic about that.
She knows that. You know that. You know that.
I personally don't have an issue if someone chooses to have an abortion. Am I whispering?
You are pro-choice, correct?
Personally, I am pro-choice, but I do understand what people are saying when they look at an organization that has these questionable things that come out, when they look at an organization that's saying a very small part of what we do, 3% is related to abortions. That statistic is false. That is not an accurate statistic.
It is an accurate statistic.
It is not. They do not divide the number of abortions by the number of patients. They divide the number of abortions by the number of services.
You know what we're going to do?
They cluster the services together. It's not accurate.
We're going to take a break. We'll be right back. Gosh.